Well, yeah, what we were talking about? UFC. 170, you come down 170 and...
Yeah, is it going up?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, going down to 170. We did a test, a body fat percentage test. I'm at 16%, which is a good like healthy weight, but peak athletes I guess is between 7 and 9%. So really we assume when I'm in peak condition I'm about 12%. So I still got some fat to lose, and frame wise, you look at my frame. I have the frame of a welterweight essentially. It's easy for me to put muscle on, and have like that bodybuilder physique. But you look at the frame of the guys I've fought, they're pretty much all bigger than me, right? They're all taller than me. They're all wider than me. I'm just a thick guy. I can put on muscle, but frame wise, I'm a much better suit for 170. And if I'm hurting guys at 185, don't blink at 170.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you play just at 170 or come back up at 185? You want to play with those two?
No, if I go to 170, I'm staying at 170. That being said, I am, I'm going to be 26 in August. I don't know if I'll be able to make 170 forever, because the older you get, your bone density, you just get years of doing this shit. You add muscle, right? So I want to do it for as long as I can. Hopefully get a world title and maybe move up. That's the long-term plan, I guess.
Yeah. So right now you're 185 belts on the group pretty much, I guess. And should be 185.
Yeah, no, my 185 belt is vacant.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Mike can just vacate that, and this was discussed. John can vouch for me. So many people can vouch for me. This was discussed. Weeks before the UFC was ever even announced. The plan was to go down to 170.
But that's where you started first. That's where you started before 170, right?
Yeah, amateur. I went down to amateur. All my fights they fluctuated actually, but I had one fight at 180, one fight at 190, then one fight at 185 for my amateur fights. But my first pro fight was at 170, and the weight cut's tough. I'm not gonna lie, but making 185 is tough too. I just get to eat more, But my biggest concern going down to 170 was that I would lose some strength and power. So that's why I moved back up, because I never had like a real MMA weight cut guy, nutritionist help me with the cut. But I've always kind of known, and everybody who's ever talked to me as far as like pro fighters, I've always assumed I'm a welterweight anyways, right? And I knew that that's the most effective weight class for me, but I want to do it. I want to do it correctly, and my management team is going to get me in touch with a real good nutritionist who I'm not going to say yet, but he works with all kinds of UFC fighters, and I'll be a monster at 170. Yeah.
Good, cool. And as a fighter, what do you think? Why fighters come as a pro fighter? They come and they're like freaking 5-6 pounds over at the weight, and what's going on? What happens? Like, are they just waiting at the end to put themselves on the diet, or?
See, unless you have you never know, right? First of all, I'll throw that out there. I'll always give guys the benefit of the doubt. Maybe somebody has the flu that week. You never know. But for the most part, in 95% of cases, it just comes down to how much balls do you have, man. Discipline. The weight cut is never easy, and some guys, what they do, they eat like shit their whole camp.
Yeah.
Then for example, they might be fighting at 170, but 2 weeks before the fight they're like 195, and it's because they weren't disciplined enough to get their body fat down to a certain percentage, right? Therefore, they got to cut more water weight, and they often miss weight. And for me, I've never missed weight ever, and I've also cut weight while being sick. So, but I will give the guys the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they got the flu or something, but in 95% of cases, there's no excuse to miss weight.
Yeah. Is it 5-6 pounds over sometimes? It's a lot. it's not 0.2, 0.3. No.
And it's a huge advantage, you know? Like, that's what guys don't get. Like, when I fought Chris Lee, you know? He weighed in at 191.5, you know? Like, that's 6...
Yeah, 6 pounds over.
Yeah, I weighed in 184, because for title fights, you gotta be 185 on the dot or lower. So, you know, I cut 7.5 pounds more than him, you know what I mean? Like, that's just water, you know? And, you know, that's... They're saying a lot of guys are purposely missing weight, and that's like the new way of cheating, right? Because they're like, oh, I'll give away 20% of my purse, but I'm heavier than the guy, right? I got the advantage that way, right? Luckily for me, it didn't work out for Chris, but you know, it's yeah. There's no excuse for missing weight.
So professional. You know, there was a lot of trash talk and the weigh in and stuff. What did you tell him after the fight at the end?
Well, after the fight, he did apologize to me. You know, we shook hands and whatever, right? So that's why I'm not gonna go too much in depth about it. But and I won too, right? That main purpose I won. I didn't eat a single shot in that fight, you know.
Yeah,
so
flawless.
Yeah, it was a flawless victory. But yeah, there's no excuse for missing weight, man. You know, that's it comes down to discipline and hard and. You know, how serious you take this, you know. Like I said, I've never missed weight ever, you know. I've had some brutal weight cuts at times, but, you know, I'll suck it up and show up on weight on time, you know. Sorry. Let that go for a second.
So right now you're getting ready. Are you getting ready for UFC just in case you get called? Or?
Yeah, so my management team is in touch with them now. From my knowledge, they haven't, from what I'm being told, they haven't started even building the card yet.
No.
Because it's still late October, right? And it's the UFC, right? Like, but we are in touch. We are trying to get on that card, essentially. Yeah.
You gotta be, I'm pretty sure. So I did all the fight card already, and there's 2 till the end of September. And there's no fighter on the card yet. Yeah. 2 fight cards, and there's 2 days already out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the ones in September, like, maybe some fighters are aware, but the UFC hasn't announced it yet. But like I said, it's a UFC, right? Like, everybody's gonna jump on the opportunity to be on a fight card anyways, right? And they know that, so, you know, as long as you get like a 3 month heads up, you know, even 2 months.
Do you think you would have enough time to get ready for?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not a fighter. I don't train either. So.
Yeah. Ideally, like really ideally, I'd like, you know, I'd say like a 12 weeks heads up. Ideally, best case scenario, because 8 weeks is when I start my camp. So then 12 weeks I can do a little, you know, I there's a whole training phase that I do, right? So if I had 12 weeks, then I basically do a phase where I prepare for my 8 weeks, you know. But at the end of the day, man, you know.
Yeah, you want to be ready. You don't want to bring your score either. I mean, you're 6-0, and amateur 3-0.
Yes, sir.
That's what I always remember. We make so much interview, like 4, 5, 6 interview, and we've been talking about everything. And I changed website, so I lost every interview I got with you. I would go far away, messenger, or they would get all them back again there. Okay. But I got your video, so I got all them on YouTube, and that was that.
Cool.
No, I've been following you for a long time.
I
remember, and Stephen Williams and all that was saying, that guy, he's gonna make it to the UFC. Freak, he's good, and all that. Who's that? Christien Savoie was the first time. And
Stephen actually messaged me a couple days ago and just told me to keep my head up and keep out all this, you know, BS going on there.
So you're what now? 25?
25. Yeah. I'll be 26 at the end of August.
And you start training with John at 12 years old.
Yeah, that's when we. So I used to do taekwondo and run a taekwondo gym, and he came to me when he was already a black belt. But I used to run a really competitive gym, just for tournaments and stuff like that. So he came and trained with me and got to second degree black belt. And then he went into MMA, looking for MMA when he was about 15.
Yeah, about 14, 15, yeah.
And I did the same thing, right? About 12 years ago, started training BJJ and Muay Thai, anything I get my hands on, trying to learn.
You got him at 12 years old.
Yeah, but then we met up again.
So you must be proud of him where he is now.
Oh,
like all the women, you've been proud of him because you see every day.
Well, he's so
Like-
he's so focused. I mean, he's young, but he's so professional and focused on what he's doing. Like, you know, so many people that want to jump to the UFC right away. You know, and you only get 2, maybe 3 fights, and if you lose, it's so much harder to get back in the second time. So
yes, it's just
he's so smart and picking the right fights, the right time, making sure he's ready.
Yeah.
And no, so I wish I had a gym full of him, right?
But he's, I mean, and that's better right now.
And he's a good ambassador too. You know, like some guys just like the glory. You know, I'm an MMA fighter. They got all the MMA stuff on, and you know, going into the bars, and you know, just they don't have the right lifestyle for it, right? But him, he's like a great ambassador. Like,
Yeah, it's been called 2 times already.
oh,
So there's no lucky there. You don't say to yourself, I'm lucky fucking calling me already 2 times. You're not lucky. You've been working your ass for it. I think you deserve to be there. You're young.
and that's part of it too with MMA. It's not just fighting. You got you know sponsors. You got to get your sponsorship and make sure you're giving your shout outs to them. You know, making appearances places. You know, and like interviews, things like that. Like so much more to it than just training and fighting, right? So,
Yeah.
and he does it well. He does it really well.
It's a lot of prepare, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, and like John said, you know, I feel so many guys and they think it's just fighting, you know what I mean? And I'm very aware that although I'm fighting, what I really get paid for is to put butts in seats at my events, right? So I always keep that in mind, right? Like fighting is obviously, you know, my job, but what I get paid for is to make the promotion money by making people buy tickets, right? So I'm always aware of that, and that's why I do my best to do things like this and advertise on social media and stuff like that.
You're smart and you get good people around you, you get good support, and there's no way you can get that. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%, man.
100%. You get into it, I mean, like, I believe in you, 100%.
And that's why, you know, I appreciate having guys like John and my other coaches. And, you know, I'm still a young 25-year-old guy, you know. People piss me off sometimes, and I get into, you know, heated arguments, and I got guys like these guys who, you know, are all like family to me, and, you know, they keep me grounded, and it's important for me to have a team like that, you know.
Yeah. But it's not hard to put people jealous or make them talk.
Uh,
Just keep doing your right thing, that's what you're doing, so.
yeah.
Every time you do something right, of course you're gonna make people talk, and you're gonna get them jealous and this and that. It's okay. Smile.
It's like being a celebrity,
Yeah.
but you fight.
Yeah.
It's exactly being a celebrity, you know. Everybody loves you, everybody hates you, you know. Like you have your support, you have people that.
At the end, you're the winner
Yeah.
because you focus always on yourself. Like you don't start with that bullshit. Bullshit makes part of the life, no matter where you wanna live. We see in big town, we don't hear that. In Montreal, in Toronto, we don't hear all that bullshit. People take care of their own bullshit, but
And
we don't know what's going on between families, or we're all human. I mean, like.
And that's, you know, we speak about that, man. Like the Maritimes, man. There's just like so much BS, you know. It's like everybody's trying to compete against each other rather than trying to build each other up, you know. Like for example, Adam Burke. I hope he gets signed to the UFC, even if I don't. Sean Wallace, you know, I don't know him as well, but you know, we trained together once. He seems like a solid guy. You know, I hope he makes it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope all my fellow Maritimers make it.
Yeah.
You know, even if I didn't. You know what I mean? This isn't competition for me between my fellow, you know, Maritimers. You know, I want to support these guys. You know,
Like
it's crazy.
UFC is big. It's the big promotion in the world, and like they go province and country to country. So I mean, like New Brunswick's first time here. I think everybody should help each other and make a team each other and go and fight against other people from. There's a lot of people in this world. You don't have to fight with the guys from next door.
No.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And that's the way you're doing. You're doing good. I mean, like, just focus on yourself and do the right thing like you've been doing all. You're going to be freaking out. There you go. And like, you start with him like he was 12 and now you see him.
Yeah. No, he's always had that, like you said, the game plan, you know. Because, you know, sometimes we'll get a call about an opportunity and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. you know, I'm so excited, you know, just for the opportunity. But then he's like, no, step by step. I'm like, you know, he keeps me grounded too, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's easy to like, somebody calls, hey, you know, like fight this guy or go here, and it's just for your first instinct, yeah, right?
Yeah.
So no, he's very, very smart that way. It's like, no, step by step, you know, don't go too far, too
Good
fast.
shape, so you never smoke, you don't drink, you don't smoke.
No.
You eat good. All the food you put on Facebook.
That's the thing with me, man. Like this is a lifestyle for me. You know, I'm not perfect. You know, after fights, I'll have my triple bacon cheeseburgers. You know, but you know, that's only a short period of time. You know, for me, it's a lifestyle. You know, and not only a lifestyle. You know, like I like being that martial artist per se. You know what I mean? I'm the type of guy who will meditate by a lake, as cheesy as that may sound. But you know, I really believe in. I've always had like that martial artist in me. You know, and I try to always keep that in mind. You know.
Yeah, it's not just physical, right? It's mental, psychological too. It's not just spiritual, not just the body.
Yeah.
You're single too, can train. You're still single?
No, I got a girlfriend. Yeah.
Oh, you got a
But,
girlfriend now?
She supports me, and at the end of the day, I would never date somebody who doesn't support me, right?
Yeah.
It's, like I said, this is who I am, right?
No, I mean, it's your life. That's what you want to do since you've been young. And
it's like, if I were to date somebody and they can't accept this, it's like, well, then you can't accept me. You know, 'cause this is who I am.
It's your dream. You can't break somebody else's dream. And you're not doing anything wrong.
No.
You're not getting someone and getting drunk and party and go whatever, spend your money on pouring machine in casino, whatever.
Yeah, she knows where you're at, right? She
Yeah,
knows
I mean,
yeah.
like, you train, you're in good shape, and
The only thing is, you know, sometimes I come home and I'm so foggy from training, right? I barely have any energy for her, but that's the thing, right? Like if somebody's gonna date me, you gotta understand that, right? Like this is just the lifestyle that I live. You know, this is just who I am. You know? So,
well, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. To be a fighter, you almost gotta leave at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, and you just come back almost at 6 o'clock at night. I mean, if you count, I don't know how it works, but I mean, if I count like 2 hours to go to some building, whatever, train in the gym, and then another 2 hours to go to your jiu-jitsu, and 2 hours, I don't know how it works. Is that way, or like you got pretty much everything all at once?
Travel too, right?
You do everything pretty much, jiu-jitsu, judo, taekwondo, and everything. So
yeah, people don't understand, right? Like for me, anyways, it's a full-time job, right? Like it's
Yeah.
it's more than a full-time job because like. You know, I'll go to train for 2 hours, you know, I'll come home, I gotta make my food, I gotta eat a certain way, sometimes I'll take a nap because that's necessary for me, right? You know, and everything I try to do, and don't get me wrong, you know, I've learned, there's something I learned, I'm too crazy.
yeah.
I go too far into it, so sometimes it's good for me to just watch a movie, you know, go with my friends, something, right? Because I'll go crazy. I go too far into it, but yeah, you know, it's a full-time job, man. Like I said, I gotta sleep a certain way, I gotta eat a certain way, you know. All the things aside from training, I try to incorporate too, you know. Like some people think it's just about going to the gym and training. Then they'll eat their double cheeseburger and then go